Hello, my name is Brandon Pierce, and I'm the founder and CEO of Pure Legacy. Today, we're working on a project for future innovators. What we have here is a 6-in-1 solar robot. It's a build and learn. You only need to use the solar panel to power it, no batteries needed. And there's 6 different options. To be honest, this looks exciting for me, so I'm having a hard time deciding between which one I want to build, the space station, astronaut, or the space dog. Honestly, I'm gonna go with the astronaut, just since we're talking about future innovators. This would be the perfect first project of this box series. Alrighty. Alright, so it looks like here these are all pop-off pieces. What that means is there's smaller pieces like this right here, and you just pop that off. Alright, and this looks to be all the accessories needed in order to move and power it. There is a battery pack there, but that's going to plug into the solar panel to where we won't need that, which is actually really cool, if I'm thinking of it correctly. Alright, so, even comes with stickers. The manual is going to have the one that you can pick, so we're going to flip through it and find the astronaut. In this scenario, it looks like the astronaut is page 25. And so what it's going to do is it's going to start off with the overall look, and then it's going to show you the pieces in order to find. Hopefully, these will be labeled on the tray. So, the only question becomes is that it's not color-coded, but how I'm looking at this picture here, looks like most of the outer is yellow, most of the internal will be the black. Plus, also considering that in this last step, the head is black on the box. And there's no head on the yellow tray, only one, I guess you could call it a helmet, on the black tray. It is a simple way of solving problems. It's just looking and seeing what you can be aware of to understand what this piece could be, since the book is not color-coded. Alright, let's see if they have labels, or if potentially in the document at the start it will label the trays individually. Looks like it just gets straight to building the little space station right off the bat, so let's check towards the end or potentially see if one of the other documents has it. Nope, I don't see that on there. And that is all the documents it came with. So we'll be looking at these pieces based on how they're shaped on the diagram. And what I'm going to do here is so that way I can make my own instruction sheet. I'm going to use my other phone and take a picture of the tray. That way, as I figure out which one's which, I can label them. That way we will have a picture as well. This is also something you can do if you work on some of these projects repetitively. Okay, so the bottom is the black and it shows the V4. So it looks like some of these we will be doing these both individually. So all right. This is quite interesting if you're trying to figure this out. All right, so this one is the feet, so let's mark that on the diagram. So in this is the feet, 2 per leg. And see how I just can pop these out. You can also get like some scissors and cut it if necessary. Just be careful of making sure it doesn't fly. So let's test it here. And it flew. Well, technically slid. I have an interesting idea. And there goes my shoe. And let's call this a genius idea. So, if we switch to where I have this set, now this is, of course, if I have a black desk. If I rotate this to look just like this here, which means, and then I can write this as B4 black. Well, I need a darker marker, but we are onto something. Here we go. Use a black marker for B4 black. And the black will be black, red will be the yellow, which we'll do over here. All right, the next piece looks like a smaller thigh, which will be this one. So on the paper here, this looks like a thigh. And then I just rotate this. That looks just like this by rotating it and setting it like the diagram. And so I will set this here. I will take my red, and this is A14. So looks like when the next step, to connect the feet, we will be holding the yellow piece and then take the foot. And where this one will be set here, it needs to be able, this one goes on the back, because in the diagram, based off how it points, you could tell by the curvature to put this here. And they simply just slide in. The next step is basically doing the front one. Front. See how this is here? And it goes on. Well, that also means that these are now left and right. So when you take out one, One side is the front, one side is the back. So instead of just being one singular leg, I took this one off the second one, and now it goes in the correct direction in which I need it to be based off the diagram, to where the outer part sets like this, and they both point that way. So then I will take the other side, and I will set it here. Because after these, to see how also it says B4, B3, that was numbered, apparently, but not on the thing. So the next piece is one that goes in the top. So we're looking for a long curvature one that has like a rounded top, squared bottom, right here. So I'm gonna set this here. And it's labeling over here, B2. It's pretty cool. I guess the glass desk comes in handy. It'd be cool if this was a digital desk and then I could just write this onto an actual photo. All right, so place this way. Take this, back side, line up, pop in. And then apparently there's a gearbox which is just a large So let's see if there's a gearbox specific. Well, here's the So there is a assembly that should be started for the solar module and the battery in order to have what moves everything. So we will be now switching to this. And see, this is why they also don't have this step-by-step instruction. Just saying, hey, build this first. You just got to go through it, which I guess with this one having what it does on the front, they kind of expect to build the solar station first, and then they have a step-by-step of how to take it apart to build the others. But I want to build the astronaut first. Also, let's take a moment to enjoy this ad. Dr. Nuff, just go buy some. And I found the here's the battery module. And looks like the batteries. It looks like for the solar panel to keep the thing charged and moving, the solar panel is designed to work with the batteries but keep the energy, and this allows the electrical component to continue to move and extra electricity potentially be stored to move it for a longer time. Because, well, if I have the AA, it takes a AAA. So, AAA. This is a little bit longer video, so as needed, just fast forward through. And this piece is B7. So this one I recommend using scissors with. It's a little bit larger. And you can also place yours like this and be able to see how it's laid out. B7. So it shows us holding the part like this, taking the battery pack upside down and sliding into the inside. And it looks like you run the wires straight up the very last twist part right there at the edge. Make sure they slide in there well. The next one, you take the rounder piece that looks like a car's front bumper and you pop it out. And that one is A7 with an also on there. It shows to take little stickies apparently. Yep, they're sticky magnets or something. And on the inside, it has holes in which we just, I guess, push it in. Yeah, just poking into it apparently, I guess. Wait a second. It's got an internal circle piece inside of it also. guess we will find out. So I'm gonna pop the little circles out of here and then put them with the small screwdriver, poke it down into the actual holes that it references, because the way that it references is that it's like it goes inside of it. And so yeah, just take these out of the inner and poke down in there. So you should have like little olive looking holes left. And then just push these together. And it just pops together. Just be easy and careful with it. I just do it in steps to where it squeezes all together. And then just make sure that these lips actually go under to where it snaps correctly together, to where all four sides are underneath the snaps. Alrighty. Then looks like there's a piece So I missed a step to where it had a side piece of there's a side piece that I missed to put on. Which is this. So before we popped this together, we were supposed to put these side pieces on it. But the way it looks like actually is that these side pieces will go on even with how I currently have it. So we're going to test that. Oops. Well, that was hilarious. This stand is not the most adequate to hold this weight of the foam. And then I knocked it. But what I was saying is, it looks like that this should just go on the side with or without the other there. This actually looks like a larger piece than it should be, but it's the only one with that type of hole. Actually, no, this is how it's going to look, because what I was looking at is actually already on there, not an actual piece to add. So that was just my own personal confusion. But it does show a smaller box that appears to fasten the end of the cable together. And from how it looks, it has the two side marks, so right here. And I'm gonna pop these out with my fingers since they're smaller and likely to fly. All right, and that one is B18 and 17. Well, 17 and 18, but all right, from the way it looks like is I just put thing pointing up, which I will probably need to trim off the little edges. So when you have, here we go. So on these, when you have it here, trim off not that edge, but the edges that are the smaller ones that was keeping it attached. I'll just try this. I was trying to hold it at a steady. So like the little things that attach it to the platform, just make sure to trim those off. It shows the and it shows that the little holes in this, the little tiny holes on the paper that's left open, you're gonna basically turn it this way and have the wire, because onto here, for this to plug in, it would look, if the thing's up, the two lines up, it would go here. So like that. And then take the other piece, keep the two lines facing, keeping the two lines facing upwards. Two lines facing upwards. Pull this slightly through, keeping two lines facing up. Oh, that's also another reason to trim off those extra little edges. And so when the back goes into here, you want to have this facing this way. Making sure that they both slide in, or this is inside. This should be facing, with these two slides on the back part. And we just gotta make sure they stay together. And voila. You have that put together. So then Next, we're building the upper gearbox. Scoot this to the side here. And it looks like it references these. So looks like we're working with that. It says yellow, but it's actually in this one, the blue one. So you always got to look at what's going to be the best piece. So it's referencing a small spin, and that would be what we're doing there. So let me zoom this in some. So we're just basically moving that onto the top here. And it seems as if you can kind of look at that. But there's also these smaller white ones. So don't recommend holding those where you can drop them. They're very tiny. I just dropped mine. Yeah, and it seems like that one it's actually going to be the white one that comes in the motor pack. And you can tell because it fits on very, very hard. And it's got the multiple, as it looks like on there, the COD, as it calls it, or the POG, or you can tell more looking towards the where it says P9. And I will need to get my screwdriver, the small screwdriver, and push this down some. Just shows that it doesn't completely go on it. You want to have it down just enough to get the right spin. And it says take the blackboard and find the part that looks like the most inner pieces. So A6 looks to be referencing this one by the back side. Looks like this on the front side. Recommend cutting this one. Uh-oh. There we go. I had to remember how I needed to line it up and not to label, since this product don't have it labeled. Take this, hold it this way, face it the same way the paper shows, the white pudding this way, slide that into the slot here, so like so. Shows the internal part to slide the motor into, pushing the wires down as well. like so. And then the next step, it shows what looks like to be two hollow pipes, but they are shorter. And they are on here. There's also actually 4 of these. They all look to be the same size. And it shows to poke them into the larger standing one near. And then another one here. Let me see if I can zoom this in some. There we go. And then it shows a smaller spin cog. Maybe I've knocked mine off. Oh, it's referencing taking this and putting it on the bottom here. One to one, one to the other. Or maybe not. Surely I ain't missing that. References a B. Okay. So the B8 that it references is actually on the black one. And I can tell by the bottom of the way the top looks there. Because the top looks hollow like that one right there for step 3 on the upper gearbox. So the black one is labeled, it's just labeled on the opposite side. Heck yeah. The yellow one, however, does, yep, it's got some labels on there. You just gotta look real close. It's just edged into it. So it says B8. And so B8 right there. I'm gonna take this instead of here. And it shows on the smaller one, or on the one that sticks out past the motor. So we'll be putting that on there. So putting the spin side down. And to that. Looks like then put the one on the spin tube first, or actually, yeah, you put the one on the spin tube first, and then the next one after, because in step 5 you can see how they're laid over, so it should look about like so. And it says a blue goes on the smaller. This little wire thing is very difficult. It doesn't want to stay in. It shows the blue one goes on right here at the bottom. And then the purple spin goes down into here, like so. And then we will just basically take the back piece, which is A2. And A2 as I had it laid out, but if you hold it like this, is right there. I just have mine laid out a different way because did not see the etching. So, A2. And just basically going to line all of this up correctly, make sure that the board stays in. And you want to be very gentle on this one, lining up the large one on the back side away from the purple thing first, and then just gently guiding the others where need be. And I heard something come off, and it was the blue, so let's turn this upside down, take the purple back out, make sure to put the blue on, and the board keeps constantly slipping as per usual. The board there is going to give me an excruciating time not wanting to stay in. There we go. And now we have the gearbox made. So then it says to the lower gearbox, and reference isn't setting like that. It shows the wheels, which looks like says A10 and P14, which is why we have the rolls. I'm going to use 2 of them, which is why that was super smart that they made the outside of the wheels part of the inside of the bumpers and designed it to where one would hold the other and be acknowledgeable for this scenario. So this is A10. And that's naturally you're gonna make sure you want to cut off those little spikes that holds it onto the tray. Definitely considering this is the wheel. And then we have the wheels. How cool is that? And then it shows that this will basically one will go this way, one will go the other way, and then use each other to line up on the pole. And it looks like it's going to be very close to the body as well. And this is supposed to be the rear view of how it sets that way. Now we're getting into the lower gearbox, which is the longer one. And it shows to assemble just individually. This is going to be the B15 and B12. Wait, 2 B12s. Where's the B12? Okay, so B12. It's basically these. Trim up off those little edges. One with the open space seems to be, it actually has an arrow also to basically put it how it needs to be. And so it's multiple pieces here. So the B15 is what the pole will go through. And I'm gonna push it in. Maybe use like something to tap it through. But that's also a decent chance that it is not the right one because it's the longer one, so don't do that because now I have to figure out how to get this one out. It's the skinnier, longer one. Where's my screwdriver? There it is. I know the screwdriver should be, nope, not small enough. to get in there. So I'm just gonna have to try and wiggle it out without hopefully breaking this. Lesson learned, no part should have to be forced. Now let's see if we have something that we can use to pry these open. There, I got it. We got it. All right, yeah. So it's gonna be the skinnier pole. So I will have to make sure to label this in the video if possible, because it goes right through perfectly. Don't need to force it. And I keep dropping all these parts. So, looks like the arrow points like this. So, I keep dropping this smaller silver pole. There it is. Yeah, it's not fun dropping that into carpet. So, so looks like there's a lower curved part. I'm gonna go and assume it's B8. So, wait, A8. Yeah, so A8. And it shows the clip part facing forward, and that this just lays. You want to make sure you have the angle, the arrows pointing forward as well. Huh. So it looks like you're just trying to lay this in there and just make sure they both touch on the outside. Because, oh, it actually won't split them on the other side somehow. In order to do that, I can't push them close enough. Looks like you do have to push them on there tight. Should just be easy. There you go. Dang it. This takes a little bit longer than I thought it would.